Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. Okay. Again, lots of little bits of newses and... newses? That's not a word. Lots of little bit of news and some updates. Topics I'm planning on covering today. J.D. Vance is saying that Russia has to wake up and accept reality in its war in Ukraine. Trump says that a peace deal is to end the war in Gaza is in its final stages. It's not like we haven't heard that before. What else is going on here? Donald Trump is planning on attending Pete Hegseth's gathering of military leaders. I record this on Sunday, the 28th. It's in a couple days from now. We'll be seeing Trump over there doing that. And also, Kash Patel is having the FBI assist in a response in the Michigan Mormon church shooting. I haven't read much about that other than I think the shooter's dead. They said one person was dead. I don't know if that person is a victim outside of the shooter or if it's just the shooter's the only one that died. Multiple people injured. The church got set on fire after the guy drove through the front doors and started shooting people. To which Trump said, this assault on Christians has to stop. Yet his own rhetoric is triggering for a lot of people calling for this. So it's just an interesting thing where it's do as I do as I do, don't do as I say type of thing. I don't know. But J.D. Vance is kind of a slimeball, so let's start off with him. Entertainment purposes only. I don't know J.D. Vance. All I know is that guy can lie so smoothly. And now Vance is saying that Russia has to wake up and accept the reality. That we want peace here. We've been actively pursuing peace from the very beginning of the administration, but Russians have got to wake up and accept the reality here. And President Trump said Ukraine could win the war and referred to Russia as a paper tiger. Because that's not going to trigger Russia. I believe Trump also posted after getting to know and fully understand the Ukraine-Russia military and economic situation and seeing the economic trouble it is causing Russia, I think Ukraine, with the support of the EU, is in a position to fight and win all Ukraine back in its original form. Wow, Donald. I mean, wasn't it just not so long ago you told Zelensky that he didn't hold any cards and he's just going to have to basically let Russia do whatever it wants? Didn't you earlier say that you'd let Russia do whatever it wants in there? Trump always wants to back a winner, and the fact that he's pivoted and is saying that he's backing Ukraine and J.D. Vance is expanding on that messaging, is telling me that he's gotten some intelligence that's saying that Russia's suffering mightily in this. So now he's switching sides, saying he's backing Ukraine. All in a war that he could have solved in 24 hours, according to the best military expert, peace negotiator that's ever existed on the planet ever, Donald J. Trump. So let's take a look at the Russia-Ukraine war. What's the current situation for Russia in this war that has Trump and Vance telling Russia to basically capitulate or stop? Foundation of the reading is the Queen of Wands. Often have used this card as my Ukraine action card because of the sunflower. And I've got the woman, the action. It's the action that Ukraine has taken, crossed with the Tower. They're sudden endings. Remember this whole in air assaults. Okay, so remember this whole war started where Russia was going to do a blitzkrieg-like event and take over Kiev in 3 days. It was a 72-hour operation that's now gone for well over 3 years. And Russia's throwing bodies, thousands and thousands of its citizens in there, and they're generating hundreds of thousands of casualties. It's unsustainable. And now we hear that Ukraine has developed their own form of cruise missile, and they're systematically taking down air defenses in the Crimea region, which is going to allow their drones and their missiles a lot more free rein to attack Russia infrastructure, supply chains, things along those lines. And also, Ukraine started going after places where the Russian shadow fleet... So Russia has a shadow fleet of ships. There's ships that Russia has purchased, but they fly under different country flags that fill up with Russian oil, and then they sell it to circumvent the embargoes on Russian oil. Well, Ukraine has started targeting areas where, say, those ships get filled up. And by damaging that, those ships can't get filled up. And they're hitting refineries, constricting the ability of Russia to refine its oil into petroleum, which can sell at a much greater cost. To the point where there's now fuel shortages in Russia. So the overall attack of Ukraine through the air with drones and missiles is causing a collapse in the Russian economy. Before we have the Nine of Coins, Russia and the oligarchs were fine. And the Russian citizenry wasn't being impacted, but the actions Ukraine is taking through the air is changing that dynamic. Current situation is the Five of Cups. It's the miniature death card. It's not the end of Russia, but Russia is losing its ability to fight effectively. They are now basically fighting with one arm behind their back. And the other thing is, as this war starts impacting the Russian people, Russia's going to have to divert resources to keeping the populace in line. Because you have an autocracy in there, a government that wasn't fairly elected, so the people are going to be dissatisfied with it. Overarching energy is the Knight of Wands. I believe, honestly, the encouragement that Trump and Vance are doing is like Russia needs to come to the table now while they still have a stick to beat, or while they still have something to negotiate. Lesson to be learned in the Two of Cups. I'm sorry, for those listening, the overarching energy was the Knight of Wands. It's a slow plan coming to fruition here. The lesson to be learned is the Two of Cups. Ukraine has been suing for a ceasefire for a while, and Russia keeps ignoring it. To their own detriment. I don't think, again, Putin's just probably not getting the right information on here. Outcome is the Chariot. Things are going to continue to grind forward. One card to clarify this, because this is the war grinding forward, is this peace negotiations grinding forward. Clarifier is the Six of Cups. It's the naivety of it. Ukraine will keep pushing forward to a negotiation. I don't think Russia's ready to stop yet. So, despite Vance's strongly worded urging, I don't think we're going to be seeing a ceasefire coming out of Ukraine and Russia anytime soon. And again, this is all Russia. This is not Ukraine that's driving this. Okay, one story down. While we're on the military theme, let's talk about, we've got a collection of generals meeting this week. Let's get the yellow. Okay. It's the meeting at Quantico, Virginia. Trump described the gathering as really just a very nice meeting, talking about how well we're doing militarily, talking about being in great shape, and talking about a lot of good, positive things. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what it's going to be. Can you imagine? Further, he's like, we have some great people coming in, and it's just an esprit de corps. You know the expression esprit de corps? That's all it's about. We're talking about what we're doing, what they're doing, and how we're doing. Amazing. What an orator. And like Trump, I've heard the term esprit de corps. I've never actually looked it up to see what it means. A feeling of pride, fellowship, and common loyalty shared by members of a particular group. Oh, that's lovely. It's a giant kumbaya group hug. Because nobody needs and wants a kumbaya group hug more than our 3- and 4-star generals. They are just, that's who they are. That's what they've been missing in their life, is a big, big group hug. All right, I just want to know, Trump's presence, how does that change things at all? When I've read on this before, the vibe I got was, this is a loyalty pledge. This is 1934, 1935 Germany, where they tore up the Constitution and replaced it with a pledge of loyalty to the Fuhrer. History is rhyming. Will Trump's presence alter anything in this meeting on Tuesday? 2 of Wands, Tuesday. It's coming up. He's almost looking forward to this. I think this is Trump looking forward to this. Oh, it's going to be a freaking disaster. I don't think this is going to go the way Donald thinks it's going to go. He's going there thinking that, I've given all of you guys your general stars, therefore you need to adore me. That's what he thinks this is going to happen. God, this guy's naive. Again, entertainment purposes only. Maybe Donald Trump doesn't think that at all, but that's how these cards are reading here. Crossed with the Tower, this is going to be an unmitigated disaster. It's going to be the exact opposite. The generals are going to go there, and they're going to see this guy as this bumbling, naive idiot. And they're going to be more than annoyed that they've been forced to do this. In the past, you got the Knight of Wands. Calling your generals, it's a big planned meeting, you need to come, and it's not a planned meeting. It was really just pulled out of somebody's butt. Current situation, asking about Trump. Trump wants this. Again, he wants to understand what's behind the military and have the understanding that the military is going to back him. This is a loyalty test. It's like secrets. He's trying to find out stuff that's happening there. He's talking about, they're going to talk about new weapons programs and things along those lines. But that's not, he's looking to see who's loyal. He's like, he wants to go there and read the room and shake hands and talk with generals and find out who he can schmooze and who he can't. Overarching energy is the 8 of Swords. The generals are forced to be there. They would rather be anywhere else that they could be. The other problem is that Trump's planning, it's going to be ham-fisted, and it's going to be obvious what he's doing, and he's not going to be able to escape the perception that is built up by this meeting and its intentions. Lesson to be learned is the Empress. The military, all 4 branches, are supposed to support the Constitution. Trump wants them to support him. This is like the military generals. You've got a pledge. Trump wants a secret pledge to himself. And the military's made their pledge and have lived their whole lives supporting the Constitution. They have made sacrifices in their personal lives as duty to country. And this guy is asking them to change it. Outcome is going to be the Queen of Wands. It's not going to be successful. This is actions, but actions taken internally, not external, but internal actions. Generals coming away from this, one clarifier, Page of Swords. Intel, info. There might be leaks about this. There might be leaks that come out about this meeting. Also spy in the camp. I think these generals also understand that there might be people in their general staff or colleagues who are now spies. They have to be careful who they trust. Because, again, history doesn't repeat, but it does rhyme. We've seen this 80 years ago, 90 years ago, in Germany. In that case, that time, the generals all pledged their loyalty to Hitler so that they can maintain their jobs. And we saw how that turned out for them. For the country and such. So, Trump is he's going to make this even a bigger disaster. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, we've got, we were talking about the military here. What's the next one here? Is this Gaza? Come on, Hill. Work with me here. Yeah, Trump says he will end the war in Gaza. The war in Gaza is in its final stages. For Carter, we don't have to give this a lot of time. Is the war in Gaza in its final stages? Seems to me Israel's the one, kind of like Russia, Israel's the one that's not relenting. The only difference is that where Ukraine is really making Russia pay, Israel, or the leadership in Israel, is making the Palestinians pay. It's not apples to apples. For Carter, are we close to a peace deal there? The Sun card. Maybe there's some truth to that. Maybe there's actually some truth. Nine of Wands. If there is a ceasefire, it's very uneasy. The Magician. Negotiations. Agreements. The Emperor. The Emperor in this case, I don't think this is... it could be Trump and Vance, but this has got to be Netanyahu. As I was leading into this, the only person who can stop this is the leadership in Israel. Maybe there's a breakthrough and the hostages are released. And then they can begin negotiations. I'm going to give this with three major arcana all in a row, I'm going to give this a much higher probability of success. I don't think he's wrong on that. There might very well be a peace deal to end the war in Gaza that will happen rather soon. I'm willing to give that one a yes. Okay, so what else do we have? We got another J.D. Vance story here. Oh, yes. J.D. Vance was asked if there were going to be more indictments after the indictment of James Comey. And Vance said, certainly will be. There was... we know that in Trump's post, that it was addressed to Pam Bondi, where he said, what about Comey, Adam Schiff, and Letitia James? So Comey has just been indicted. The Barbie doll insurance lawyer that he put in there to be the temporary lead prosecutor for the Eastern District of Virginia, I believe it is, the one that brought the indictment against Comey, would also be the one bringing indictment against Letitia James. Midas Touch had I caught a quick little blurb here that apparently this Trump appointed prosecutor signed two different indictments and gave both to the judge. And the judge is like, well, which one is it? And then she denied that she signed two different indictments. So it's total Keystone Cops going on over there. Okay, so we'll do Letitia James. Will there be an indictment soon against Letitia James? Trump has been wanting it. Eric Siebert, who is the former prosecutor there, the U.S. attorney there in that jurisdiction, wouldn't do it. And we now have this new person in there that is really excited to accommodate Trump and his whims. Will Letitia James be indicted because of this? Knight of Pentacles. Moving forward, this is your mercenary moving forward. That's telling me yes, because to me this is this new attorney coming in here doing that. Ace of Cups, the Magician, the Strength card. Yeah, and it's going to happen quick. She'll be the next one most likely. They're looking at the evidence, so they want to present this evidence again. Another grand jury presentation. It's going to be done quickly. This is a slow-moving card, but this card is a card of rapidness. So I think what you're saying is Trump is frustrated that this case and investigation has moved too slowly, so he's pressuring things to speed up. If you have to make stuff up to get this indictment, I don't care, because I want what I want. You know, we have a strong case. He even said that in his text message to Pam Bondi. We have a strong case. Everybody says so, so go forward with it. So, yeah, Letitia James, that's going to happen soon. Or it'll happen next. I'm assuming it's going to happen soon because Trump is super impatient. Adam Schiff was also specifically named on that list. Will an indictment be brought against Adam Schiff soon? Malicious prosecution. Malicious prosecution is when basically a prosecutor is bringing a prosecution not based on evidence, but because they're getting pressure from an authority figure to do so. These cases are going to get tossed out. This is just ridiculous. Adam Schiff. Will he be indicted soon? King of Pentacles. He might be a little bit more protected. He might be a bit more protected because he's a sitting U.S. Senator. High Priestess, they're looking into it. They're still investigating him. They're trying to figure out what else they can get on him. Yeah, they want leverage. They want to bring him in. They want to bring him in for questioning. Like, okay, so this is Knight of Cups. This would be like a subpoena or something along those lines, because they want to get leverage on this guy. They want to find, like, they might try and set him up on a sting operation or try and understand what he knew. Now, he was on the House Intelligence Committee, so this High Priestess could represent what intelligence could Schiff know about that we could leverage against him to bring a case forward. But I suspect what will happen is they're going to have interviews with Adam Schiff. Maybe, I don't know if he can depose him without a quarter. They're going to try and get interviews. They're going to try and look into him, or maybe look into his staff. May not be his staff. I didn't get the the Page of Swords. They're reaching out. They may have somebody who's loyal to Trump, kind of a double agent type thing, because that Knight of Cups could very well be a somebody who's friendly with Schiff that's trying to get information. How about another 4-card clarifier just on that Knight of Cups to the King of Pentacles? What's that about? Ongoing investigations. They're looking to see what's going on. They're not finding much. But they want to find stuff because they want to bring him in there. Yeah. The Attorney General is going to keep the investigation on Schiff. They're not finding anything yet. This could be they're just trying to drive him out of the Senate. But ongoing investigations, trying to find stuff, but they're not successful. Schiff will try and indict Schiff, but I think Schiff is going to be much further in the future. They'll get Letitia James next, and probably in the matter of a couple of weeks. Schiff is going to take a long time because they just don't have anything that they can use against him. And he's a sitting U.S. senator, so there's not going to be the political stomach to want to go after this guy. Kind of like, hey, you got Comey and you got James. Be happy with those. We'll get Schiff eventually, but you're going to have to move on to other things. I think that's what I'm going with there. Okay, lastly, Cass Patel says the FBI is assisting in the response to the Michigan Mormon church shooting. Just I want to read on the general energy of this situation with regards to the FBI. Will they actually be helping? Is another false flag event? What do we got going on here? Normally the FBI should be involved in this. It's just right now you can't trust anything coming out of Cash Patel's mouth because he's a filthy liar. Again, entertainment purposes only. What do I know? I'm just a crazed tarot card reader asking questions and throwing out cards. But man, oh man, the guy butchered the Utah case, and now that all the evidence is not aligning with what the FBI said what happened. I really wonder what's happening with the agents of the FBI on that one. God, I'm curious. But let's look at the Mormon Church first. So what's going on here? Strength card, crossed by the Four of Cups. This is actually a strong point of the FBI is doing investigations like this, but it's almost like they're not wanted there. It's like the FBI is muscling in. Hey, we're going to do this or something like that. It's that age-old adage of you can't trust the feds with this thing. I think right now that the FBI is having a bit of a reputational problem because of Cash Patel. FBI and in this investigation in the past, the FBI is beaten up. They've been morale and their reputation's been beaten up because of what happened in Utah. So they're just going to keep doing what they're doing. They're going to, oh God, it's like their presence there is going to muddy the waters of this. If this was going to be a straightforward case, the FBI is going to come in and they're going to muddy the waters on it. People are going to be, it's like the mixed messaging. The shooting at the ICE detention center, Sterling did a reading on that one, and the writing that said anti-ICE, maybe it wasn't Sterling, but there was a question about that. Was that Cash Patel or somebody like that doing that sort of thing? But it'd be somebody in the FBI doing that, because why would you write such a random thing on blue ballpoint pen? It just doesn't make any sense, and it causes confusion as to the motivation of the shooter. How could it be anti-ICE, but the only people he was shooting at were immigrants? Doesn't make any sense. It was like target practice. I think you could tell the brown people in handcuffs versus the white guys in uniforms. You know what I mean? And I think that's the same thing that's going to happen with the Mormon Church investigation. Is they're going to come in and they're going to muddy the waters. Lesson we learn is the Four of Swords. It might be that they find information, but they don't release it to calm things down. Like if they found out the shooter was a right-wing extremist or something along those lines, or had a personal grudge against the pastor there, maybe was assaulted when they were a kid or something like that. I'm making it up. I'm not saying that's what happened. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just trying to say where you and I could say, oh, well, that makes sense why he did that. It's like things are going to be kept quiet. Ooh, that's not good. How come it's the Seven of Swords? There's going to be manipulation here. They're going to try and manipulate this story. The FBI is going to try and manipulate this story. It really makes... I'll read on this one potentially more in the future. I've been purposely not reading it because I really don't want to read on mass shootings. But this might be one of those things where, there's a push by Trump and the GOP to make it seem like there's all these mass shootings against people in congregations, and it's the radical left lunatics that are doing that, and that Christians are being persecuted. So they're trying to get, the Christians and the evangelicals to rally around Trump. Forget the Epstein stuff. Forget all the financial burdens that the GOP is putting on them. But basically saying, see, you guys are being persecuted. You've been persecuted the whole time. And it's blue-haired people with nose rings eating avocado toast that are to blame for all your problems. Go get them. That kind of thing. Okay, just a little four-carder for Spirit. Could you, with everything that's going on and the level of crazy going on in the United States right now, four-carder, what else would you like us to know on how to deal with this? Nine of Wands. Just expect the craziness isn't going to stop anytime soon. There's going to be more coming. Focus on your health. And focus on your own finances, because you can't really stop what's happening out there. A lot of financial stuff and health stuff. Yeah, the craziness is going to keep going. So you need to be strong internally and take care of yourself. Don't stress out so much that you ruin your own health or your finances. Appreciate what you have. Do the best to maintain what you have. Keep working on your values. It's a crisis of values that we've got going on in this country. And a division we're trying to exclude people. And that's going to continue. But focus on yourself. Keep working. Keep playing to your strengths. Keep playing to your values. And that will help steal you through the worst of this. Because you can't, and this is the thing I struggle with, you can't stop it by yourself. It's outside your sphere of influence. All you can do is make sure that you're good and the people around you are in good shape as well. Okay? We'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching this video and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. This reading is for entertainment purposes only, but I hope you found it insightful, and we'll catch you on the next video. Take care.